Hi. We have a puppy cat who has just decided to get up on my lap here. Perfect timing. Normally, she likes to go hide when I start streaming. But today she's on my lap. Yes. Stardrop, welcome in. Good to see you. I hope all of my things are working. Yes, it looks like we're okay here. You can expect a fair bit of scuff. But I want to stream if I've got the mana and the temperature's not too high and things like that. Yes. Oh, yes, look at this puppy cat. Oh, yes. How are you, Stardrop? How was your day? How was your February going? Oh. I have over 50,000 channel points. I think we need some bigger redeems. We do. Definitely on my to-do list. Oh, yeesh. I have ideas, I just have no time and power to implement them at the moment. But you know, we've got the sound commands, right? So those are for little incidental things. And I figure if I want like video things happening on screen, what we could do is have those for the channel points, because then, you know, people aren't going to spam them so much, but it's still a nice little reward for arbitrary points. YGY, hello, hello. Nice to see you and the stream. It's nice to see you too. I haven't seen you for a little while. Entirely my fault. But yes, we are streaming now and do a stream. And we have a cat who needs a lot of scritches. Oh, chemical.
Just subscribe to Bloody Legend. James 19 Bongo, 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 James 19 Bongo.
Alchemical, welcome in. Thank you so much for the resub. Let me see if I can one-handed give you a little shouty shout there. Alchemical is also a streamer. Does some nice retro things. What are we doing? Brandish for Windows, 1998. Do you still visit Gomi, or is it harder with work? I do still visit Gomi, yes. Gomi is a delightful trash VTuber on the internet. Oh no, not my lack of a channel. It's December already, and well, okay, so that automated message from Robot Neko there just shows you how much I was prepared for this stream. MOTD. Meow. That's not even the MOTD command. MOTD. Meow. There we go. It's December again? Please no. Yeah, apparently I haven't streamed since last year, and that's not good. That's not good. I've got to do a little bit of a streamy stream here and there just to keep people entertained. And I like doing it. And I get to share things with you cool people, like cool retro games or little programming projects I've got going. I do have like several retro QBasic programming projects I want to get into, where I've got old games that I half made way back in the 90s and haven't touched in decades, and want to sort of like dust up and make them into proper things now that I have the skills to do so. Do I have an itch link? do I have? I mean, I know we've got Struth. So if you go there and then to my itch page, most recently I made a little thing called bees, and all it is 20 bee sprites bouncing up and down the screen, a bit like a DVD logo. But I was pretty proud of that because I did it with QBasic, and I drew the sprite in a sprite, and I figured out eventually how to get it into QBasic in EGA mode, no less. So what I used to do, and I would be illustrating this for you all, but I have a cat and she needs scritches. Yes. Oh, I need all the scritches. So you'll just have to use your imaginations. What I used to do for my ancient QBasic games is I made an ancient QBasic sprite editor that would let me plot out the pixels I wanted. And then I would use QBasic's get and bsave. Well, I didn't use bsave at the time either. I'd use get to copy that sprite into an array in some mysterious format that I did not understand. And then I would write that out to disk as a series of numbers in a text file. So all of my QBasic games that involved actual sprites, they would all have this sprite loading sequence where they would slowly open this text file and read in all of these numbers into the arrays, and then I could finally, splat them on screen. And it was pretty good, honestly. Not bad for a teenager. No access to the internet, so, no easy reference except for the built-in reference of QBasic, which is pretty comprehensive. But now, you see, what I want to do is, instead of the 256 colors offered by screen 13 in QBasic, I want to go to screen 9, which is an EGA mode. Only 16 colors, but more pixels. And the 16 colors, you can choose what colors they are from a set of 64. And I think artistically, that would look a lot cooler. Sorry, my throat. So what I'm hoping to do is go back to my old 256 color VGA half-finished games and maybe update them so that they can run in EGA mode, and update the sprites, and I'll draw them in A sprites so they look nice. And we can update the sprite loading so we load them in like a binary mode, which will be much faster. And we'll get a little proper retro game out of it. Truth looks cool, a lot of text to use your own imagination. Yeah, YGY. Yeah, I really like the old school approach of looking at that DOS code page 217 or whatever it is, and trying to figure out well, this character looks kind of like a potted plant if you color it green. That's a nice sort of constraint to have in your artwork. Where are you going? No, don't go. Okay, fine. Okay. Puppy is moving to her shelf. You okay there? Yes. All done, Scritches? All done, Scritches. Means I can show some things, perhaps. What I might do, I might close my browser window for secrecy's sake. And one of these buttons lets me share my whole desktop. Yes. Oh, and we've got some background music. Good. Let's Yeah. So this is QBasic. I have upgraded from QBasic, which was just the interpreter, to QBasic 7, which lets you create executables, which is something I always wanted to do back in the day, but didn't have the tools for. And this is the game itself is called Game 2 TIFF, because it was my second attempt at doing this kind of game, and I'd made a copy of it and made a new version that, instead of trying to hold the game world in memory, was just reading and writing it straight from disk, because I ran out of memory very quickly. And I hit upon this idea that I'll just store the game world on disk and load it every time you move left and right. I'll show you what I mean. So every time we're moving left and right here, we are actually accessing the disk, reading a TIFF file, a tagged image file, that I had drawn in, I think, Neopaint 3, shareware version, please register. And yeah, it was a little slow, because you could hear, back in the day, the disk going chuk chuk chuk. Oh, here we go. This thing's found me. There's a couple of monsters on this map, and they are very diligent in hunting down the player. Go wait. Hang on, if I go edit mode, I can go over the water. Ha! Screw you, guy. Yeah, so every time I was scrolling, I was hearing my 386's hard disk go chuk 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 chuk. But you know what? It saved me memory, and it wasn't that slow. And if you put the whole file into a RAM drive, you could effectively cheat your way around the DOS conventional memory limit for QBasic. And of course, here I'm doing this in emulation, so disk access is lightning fast compared to how it was back in the day. We're not trying to simulate a slow hard drive in DOSBox here, so it's perfectly reasonable. But whether I want to keep using this as an actual TIFF file, look, I'll load the map. Like, you could load this file as an actual graphics file in your editor of choice and make edits to the topology of the world, the topography, and it would work. Like, you could save it and load in the game, and yay, I've got a map editor for free, basically. Only downside is sprite doesn't support TIFF files, and when I've converted it to like a ping to edit in sprite and then back to a TIFF, it's completely saved it in a different kind of TIFF file format. I don't know. So my little program where I reverse engineered my best understanding of this TIFF file, assuming a hard-coded dimension of 320 by 200, was not working anymore. Did not work. Oh well. So I might upgrade this game to be like, okay, we'll use a different format on disk, and we'll maybe make something that can convert to the map format and back, but we won't like try and keep the map format like live editable as an actual TIFF file all the time. What was it? Edit. So yeah, I got a few tile types here. We've got some stone walls and some diamonds. I think I have 0 diamonds, but I can pick one up. I have 1 diamond. Yay! I also have negative 569 hit points. Don't worry about that, I'm fine. Look, I can pick up a health pack. See, I'm slightly more healthy now. Of course, all these health packs are in violation of the Geneva Convention, but don't worry, 16-year-old Neko did not know about that. And yeah, we've got a bridge over here we can go to. Go across the bridge. Another thing I need to think about fixing up. All of the movement is like your basic buffered keyboard input. So if I hold down the left arrow key here, there's like a pause before it starts spamming left arrow, and then I let my hands off the keyboard, and it's still going for a bit. Need to fix that up too. There are ways in QBasic to just read the keyboard state and update your own little bookkeeping of whether the player is holding a button down or not. So that'll be important, I think, to do, because otherwise you're just tapping up and down and left and right a lot. And like I said, I've got this quite lovely, really, 256 color VGA graphics, but I'm obviously not really using the whole palette. I wasn't like an amazing artist or anything. So if I make it 16 color EGA, it'll let us get a lot more artistic with things, I think. Art through adversity, limited color palettes, constraints on what you're doing, makes things more interesting. Now over here somewhere, I think we've got a second little flashing blob on the minimap once it loads. Yeah, they're right next to us. Okay. So I think it's WSA&D. Yeah, there we go. There is actually a player 2 in this game. I always kind of wanted to add 2-player support to my games, because I had a sister. I still have a sister, don't worry. But you know, I wanted to make things that we could both play together somehow, or just have fun with. But player 2 here is slightly inconvenienced by the fact that they do not control where the screen shows up. So if they go off screen, they're going blind. I'm starting to worry again. And yeah, we've got like the ability to open and close doors. We've got little pads that push you in random directions. I think I'm pretty proud of these smoothed walls. I think what I did, and I need to confirm this, I think what I did was, in the painting tool, I just painted a generic dark blue. But then I've got a bunch of other dark blue indexes in the palette that correspond to each one of these various kinds of smooth wall. And there's a function in the game where if I push a particular key combination, it'll go through and automatically pick the appropriate smoothed wall tile. So unfortunately that means that when I'm editing it in the graphics editor program, I can't really just pick the tile I want because they're all blue. And when I converted it to ping, they all got smushed into the same color because the converter was like, ah, you're using the same color 11 times here. We can fix that. Let me show you the bees. Another interesting aspect of this game, reading its game world directly from disk, is that there is no saving and loading because you're always updating the game world, basically. So it's kind of roguelike in that way. Maybe I'll keep that. If we exit... Actually, I need to exit this entirely. Oh no, do I? Here's the bees. Bees. And yeah, they you can see they kind of overlap in a few places. You'll see a corner of cyan overlapping another bee as it passes by. This was just a little quick silly thing I made for Toegia's Art Expo. I kind of know now, now that I'm in my 40s, how one can do masking for sprites, so you don't have to have it on a background. You can have it overlay on something else, and just the relevant bits of your sprite will show through. So there's a lot of work for me to do, really, if I want to update some of these games. But it's going to be fun. Most especially because my day job is enterprise web programming for companies doing web software for other companies. Retro game dev using QBasic is just about as far away from that as you can get, really. What I was thinking... Oh, I made the music stop. Okay, so my first two scenes don't have music, and second two scenes do have music. We can do this. Can I get... Oh, June 2 music. No, that's fine. So let's see. Oh right, there's a boss key. Let me just try that out real quick. I don't know what I have for the boss key. Okay, it's just a list of controls and things, but in a different graphics mode, interestingly. Pressing backspace. Oh, that's right, I can fire a fireball in this game. For a map. Start drawing stuff. Background music. I made background music for this? Shift S. Shift M. Yeah, that's right. I can't have both sound effects and music at the same time. Okay. So if I fire a fireball. Pew! Pew! Very nice. Not a mechanic I want to actually keep for the game I'm planning to turn this into, but very nice. And what is it? Shift S to turn sound effects off. Yes, this won't get tiring. I like how even the... Oh, phew, okay, it's off. I like how even the square wave kind of wavers a little bit there. I guess due to emulation. It just kind of... It's like a child playing the recorder. Alright. So what do I even want to do first on this thing? There's a lot. And if I get distracted, we might do a bit of Serpentine later, Star Drop, I don't know. There's also things I kind of want to maybe port over from Struth, because I've got a lovely debug menu in Struth, and we could do things with that. There's the whole issue with how we're loading the map and turning things into EGA sprites. That would be a bit of work, but it would get me closer to what I'm thinking for. And I've made a copy of this, so my original vision back in the 90s is still intact, don't worry. I just want to turn this into something that's like a finished game with an objective and things you can do that I can release on itch. I'm not necessarily going to be like completely overhauling all of my spaghetti code and making it better. I just want to do like a little bit to make it more gooder. What subs do I have? Clearly I've made some things in subroutines, like walkable here. Wow. But then other things, I have quite a lot of just code right here in the main BAS file. That's maybe something we could put into a subroutine. Right, this is the part of the stream where Neko gets a little bit quieter and I just kind of stare at code until I figure out what I want to do. But we've got background music. We have a cat cam. I think you're all fine. Yell out if you get bored. We'll do some things. I guess I'll keep the keyboard handling in as it is at the moment. I kind of want to go through those. I've called them other things. Like they're the game entities, basically, the monsters that are attacking us. I kind of want to go through that and just disable the ones that are immortal and constantly hunting us down. So how do we... Let's tackle the game level format first, I guess. Or should we? We've got a redraw screen. Let's look at that. We've got place block. The thing is, if I change the graphics to EGA, I have to both update all of my sprites and the game drawing code at the same time, because the screen dimensions will change, and I've got lots of hard-coded or screen X is more than 310 stuff like here. I might not have the brain power to actually do coding today, is the thing. Like, I've obviously managed to get enough that I can stream, but stream and also programming? We could... we could just get like some new alternative graphics in. Because it's all tile based, so we're not going to need to worry about overlaying characters on top of backgrounds or anything just yet. So if I could find a way, like we're using this whole bunch of arrays right now. I was reading some reference on how you can stuff them all into a single array. And I could hack up some very basic placeholder art. And some of these tile types we're not even going to replace, right? We're going to have different things. And there's a car alarm. Yeah, like the thing is, I want to change the size of the sprites, the bit depth of the sprites, and the size of the screen, all in one hit. But we can do it if we just like set it up in parallel. We might theoretically have the RAM to do this now, so it should be fine. This looks like a function to read the given tile from disk. This I'm not sure what it does. Code that runs when you pick up an item. Cool, cool. Oh, neat. There is actually code for the player dying, it's just they seem to be immortal. I mean, if this code was not updated for TIV, we could... Oh, it's all commented out anyway. This is processing the things. Draw hit. I do love this opening music and the whole sequence from Alone in the Dark. Load area. Aha, load area. Open RAR files for input. So this was my attempt to understand the TIFF file format, where I basically just drew a big rectangle and figured that, oh, it's got all of its bytes here, like it wasn't a compressed file format. So I could actually read it without too much hassle. Load area, load sprites. Here we go. So this was my old school sprite loading routine where I was reading them as text, basically. We could actually load it here, right? Let's load a document. Spur. Out of memory. Okay, whoops. Can't load the whole thing in memory. That's fine. There are quite a lot of sprites, and I was storing them as text. And geez, look at this repeated code. Every single sprite I've got, I've hard-coded a load this thing into this array. We can do better. But I think while I get my brain in gear, maybe, what we can do is tiff. Make a few basic tiles. I'll load up Steam, I'll load up Sprite. We can do some drawing, and that will actually give me a file that I could load, and then that will get us towards our goal of new sprites. Oh, that's nice. Past James has left us a note. If you update the sprites, you have to update walkable, load spur, draw map, some of the do other things routines, move OT, and place block. Got a bit of an ahoga going. Yay, Lunar New Year. Happy New Year. 恭喜发财. It's also Valentine's Day. I figure if I go out and look around, insert suburb name here, it'll probably be going quite crazy considering it's Valentine's Day and the start of New Year. Oh man, it's Valentine's Day again. I forgot to get a girlfriend. A sprite would be under A, wouldn't it? That's using a brain, Nico. And it's right there. Also, Steam, if you could not download stuff right now, that would probably be helpful for me streaming. Here we go. Minimize. So let's go new. We can do, should we do like 16 by 16 sprites? Indexed, black background, yeah. And I need to load my EGA palette. Hang on, let me move this a bit so it's not covered by the cameras. There we go. I have an EGA palette that I've got somewhere. Oh, jeez. Nobody look at my files. Oh, this is my downloads, dude. The sprite file chooser is not the best, honestly. Now, do we want EGA brown or EGA yellow? Probably brown, because that's like a dirt kind of color. And maybe we will actually change the palette and customize it. Brown will be fine. Alright, there we go. So let's see. I'll save this first and then we'll, oh Lord. Yeah, this is probably not incriminating. Can I make a directory? And we'll, should I number them? I should probably number them. So let's go 1, no, 0. Obviously we start from 0. And we'll make ourselves a nice little, this sprite is not defined. Magenta and black tile. We can use that for all of the stuff that we haven't implemented yet in the game. Now if I go new, do I have to set all of that stuff up again? I do? That's dumb. Let's just copy, duplicate. No, that's duplicate view. If I go copy and then paste.
Go on.
Incoming!
Come on, it's a sprite. Surely there is a nice way to just have another one of these, please.
Oh, man, you gotta let me attack something.
I'm on it.
Please. Oh, please. Not in the face.
Good thinking.
Well, I can always save it as a different name, right? Save. No, that's select
Maybe I
all.
should start trying.
He's a masochist. Huh? No need for violence.
So we kind of have to decide what we're doing ahead of time. But this is fine.
Ready to die. This can't be happening.
Explain.
This may sting a bit.
I'm honestly still used to GIMP where like I can right click for a quick access to all of my stuff.
I don't like the sound of that.
Select, deselect. Okay.
Heads up, we have company.
So I want to make.
That hurt.
Whoops. Sorry about that, Kanoko.
Want to make a sort of empty
She's everywhere.
dirt
This is a mistake.
path thing
You are
with a little bit of token grass on it.
Sorry about the mess.
Where is she?
Dead.
She was a weak.
And we can do better
Oh, excuse me.
later.
Is this absolutely necessary?
We just want to get a few files that we can actually load into the game. It's a bit of a chicken and egg situation. We've
How
got
does this end?
the desire to have new file format and new file format loading code, but also we need the file to exist to load it. What does that look like? It looks like ass. We do have the brighter color green. I mean, there's a lot of black is the thing. We don't necessarily need the background of everything to be black, but it was sort of helpful in the VGA aesthetic that we had going, right? Because the sprite characters, they had a black background around them out of necessity. Bobby, where are you going? I'm explaining sprites. I mean, ultimately, when we get around to it, we won't have to do that for this new game. We can actually have them overlaid on top of a background using magical sprite things. If you want some food, you can wait until after stream. Yeah? Food later? It is 4:46, so Poppy is anticipating her dinner soon. Could do that on stream, couldn't we? But let's see. The grass is quite bright. And you know, we're not limited to this palette, but it'll be a start. Just dither around, just splotting. Splotting? Is that a word? It is now. Splotting a bunch of pixels all over the place, and maybe a bit more brown, just filling in some of these dark spots, and eventually we will arrive at a beautiful grass picture. Alright, how's that looking? Honestly, I was happier with my my VGA version, but this will do. This will do fine. Let's save, and then save it as Grass 2. Important trick: always have 2 different variants of your basic ground textures and things that are repeating a lot. Because if they don't repeat when you move the character, you don't perceive the motion, because one tile has just become the exact same tile. You see this a lot in the early Ultima games, actually. Water, grass, mountains, they're all the same tile. So for these... Oh, I'm right-clicking again. Can I, like, flip the sprite? Yeah. That'll get us a start. I'm sure that's fine. If any don't look great, we'll fix them up in post. So that's Grass 2. What else did we want? We want water. Save as? No, save as. Oh, also I managed to name that 001 Grass 2. Silly me. That should be 2 Grass 2. And I need to go and remove that other file, otherwise I will confuse myself later. So now we save this as sprite 3, water 1, livable 0. And water is dead easy, of course. We can just use dark blue. With a few bits of light blue. Perfect. Move the camera so we can see Poppy. Right, that's water. Now we save it as sprite number 4, water 2. We can just scribble over this again. Sure. Save that as water 2. Save it as, what else did we need? Let's have a look at QBasic here. Grass, water, concrete, man and woman. Oh yeah, and we were using that blank tile that's just all black as like a floor inside the rooms. But yeah, we'll do proper floors and things at some point, it's fine. And all of the different bits of wall. I'll just do that concrete and the sand and layer character. Yeah.
Oh, I want to sneeze.
Let's see. So this is going to be concrete. So let's scribble up some kind of wall texture. Could maybe use a bit of black here and there, just like we've got some little spots that are in shadow. Amazing. 10 out of 10, no notes. Now what? Sand. Obligatory sand quote. Save. Yeah, now, lacking the VGA palette, I'm not sure what we can do with this exactly. Because it's gonna be mostly yellow. Is that gonna work? Sure. Figure it out later, though. Save. And then maybe I can just do an alternative one. I don't know if we have a second sand tile in the game as it is currently, but and then finally, let's do a basic ass player character. That we can use when we are figuring out the rest of this game. Gonna have you a little head there, some hair, maybe a neck, maybe you've got yourself a little suit. Maybe your pants are blue. How's that? Fantastic. Yeah, that'll do. Now I've got my code that'll let me turn things into a B-save format, but that was designed for the B sprite, which is 32 by 32. I don't know for sure if it will work for a 16 by 16, but we can give it a go. Also, it was designed with the bright yellow EGA palette and not the brown, so I may have to tweak that a bit too. Let's copy that code over here, which is underneath my thing there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust this because the image library I just grabbed at random didn't seem to want to give me the actual EGA indexed, like the sprite, the ping. It didn't want to give me the actual indexed color values. It was just giving me a RGB triple, which I was then having to map back to what the EGA colors should be. So in a way, I probably want to extend my command here to accept a given palette to map it into. Where's the puppy cat? Ah, there you are. Dinner soon, puppy. So yeah. I guess I guess I'll just change this so it's got the brown color in it, but I need to look up what that EGA brown is. What color number is it? 0, 1, 2, 3, 7. Yeah, it's... yeah, it's that one. So AA5500. So if I did pung to BS on undef, that seems to have worked. It's handily told us what the put buffer size for this is. And maybe ideally we wouldn't be saving these all as individual files. We'd have some sort of sprite sheet and we'd bsave and bload the whole thing in one go. But like, I don't think that would work nicely the way like QBasic does its arrays, like as a sprite sheet. So we'd have to have them all as like one big sprite line. It would look bad, I think. Unless we did a single vertical set of sprites. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, vertical might work actually, because you've got the width constant. But we can probably use bsave and bload on sections of an array. We just got to figure that out. And if we do have to just like repeatedly name a whole bunch of arrays after every single sprite in the game, that's what this game was doing already anyway, so it's not a huge waste. We can generate some code if we have to. Yeah, so if I go do... So we've got a bunch of BS files now. Let's just move them all back to our game editing directory. And what can we do? What can we do? We want to load those. I was reading up on this somewhere. Let me go see if I can find that reference. And of course we've got the actual documentation for it, right? So we can go... Bload, file spec, offset. Oh yeah, you just kind of dump it into RAM. So you've actually got to find the address of an array. I may have to consult the bees. Let's see how the bees code looks. So I just hacked this on top of Struth, basically. Here we go. Redim bbuff for the size of the actual array. And we had to do some crazy things with, like, the percentage type is integer, which is 2 bytes. So each of those array positions is 2 bytes wide. It's a mess, really, but it's fun. It's entertaining. It's way better than enterprise web programming. Yeah. So the way bload works is you set the segment pointer to the segment of your target array, and then bload into it. And I see here that we've got var pointer of bbuff index 0, which suggests to me that maybe if we wanted to have everything in the one array, we could do it. We would just need to update that index. And you can do multi-dimensional arrays in QBasic, which might help us with, like, the indexing problem here. Or maybe we'll just abstract it out with a function. So where did I define bbuff? It was, yeah, it's right here. Redim it as that. I don't think, yeah, we don't have an integer type that's only 1 byte big. But behind the scenes, QBasic seems to just kind of not care and just treat it as a buffer of bytes. Because that's what put here is doing, right? That's how we're going to draw a sprite. This is the wrong put. Array name, indexes, enable you to start retrieving the image information from an array element other than the first one. It has to be an array. I can't just use a string for this, unfortunately. How can I learn how to do multidimensional arrays in QBasic? Variables. Nope. Maybe redim will tell us. Dimensions of the array. See details. Yes. Redim shared. Shared can be used in redim statements only in the module level code. Some of these restrictions are very annoying, by the way. Like, you can only use the shared keyword if you're in the main code block here. Not using it there, but that's okay. Subscripts are the dimensions of the array. Multiple dimensions can be declared. Subscript index is upper, comma, upper, or 0 to, I guess, like, you know, lower bound to. As type. Type may be integer, long, single, double, string times length, currency, or currency, yeah. Good old school retro programming languages, built-in currency types. So I reckon what we could do is we define a new module, because we can have modules in QBasic, which I couldn't do back in QBasic. And this module will be the one that stores all of our sprites and does sprite rendering and stuff. Can I unload the bees? Yes, thank you. Are we thinking about it? Are we crashed? Oh, there we go. That took a surprising amount of time. So I want to create a new file, and it will be called sprites. Dot. Is it Bass for? Yeah, for the actual module code, it's like that. And this would have and it would be 0 to 132 for the main index. Well, okay, that might be one extra byte that we don't need. But I don't care, that's just one extra byte, that's fine. Oh, and actually, because this is going to be shorts, we could actually halve that, I think. Which is 66. Comma, and then this could be the number of sprites we actually have, which presently is 9 technically. And I think this is how I do it, but let me check some of my other old code. Oh, that's right, I have to put in an include file. Oh, but it's probably... Because, like, with the QBasic and generally the DOS stuff, you've got different segments. And I think one of the QBasic modules basically corresponds to a segment. And you can't have too much variable and too much code just in one segment, because they're only 64K big. So in Struth, I had different modules, and some of them would actually have like global variables defined in the module, which you wouldn't be able to access from another module, but you could have accessors basically to do stuff with. UI.bass. Game to diff. Random. See, I thought random had a few. Sorry, you can't see behind my camera. I thought random had a few like globals in it, but yeah, they're just like shared to the function in particular. It's all coming back to me. It's fine. Here we go. So utils.bas has like a bunch of these dim shared current palette as integer kind of things. But as long as I don't have to access the sprite data from outside the sprites.bas, I think this will be fine. Yeah. Let me just write down what I've got for now, and then we can get Puppy some dinner. So we will have, oh, and you have to do this weird include thing, right? Rem $include sprites, James, sprites.bi. Which means we kind of need to have a sprites.bi. Let's load that as well. So this is just our include file. And in here we can have a load function. Yeah. New sub. Duplicate definition. Great, because the old code already had load sprites. For now, we'll just hard code things. It's fine. I hard code things often. Yeah, why do I? Sometimes you just gotta do it, and like, you can go back later and make it more generic. But it's like, if you wanted to make everything all perfect and generic from the start, there's too big of a surface area to put it all down in one go. So I'll have a load sprite, assuming I'm allowed to. What did I call it? Oh man, some of these sprites I've written down, like when I saved them in a sprite and I gave them a name, I gave them a file name that's longer than the DOS supported file names. Look at this. We've got 0010un_1.bs, 001gr_1.bs. This is fine. This is fine. The names are mostly for my benefit, so we can keep them long in the fancy world of Linux file names that can be as long as you need them to be. So we'll be loading 001.bs into slot. And now we just need to implement this. So, how did this go? Where's my bees? Def seg equals varseg of G sprite data, I think I called it. Yeah. Index 0 of like the actual sprite data, but index of the second dimension of that array, and then bload file name var putter sprite data. I don't normally condone like Hungarian notation kind of things of like prefixing your variable names with stuff or suffixing, but in this case with QBasic I kind of do need some indication that I've got a global variable defined, and it doesn't let me use underscores in the file name, in the variable names. So here we are. Load it into that same thing, I guess. Yeah. Okay, I think it is very close to dinner time, yes? Dinner time? Yes. Give me a moment, please. And we'll go feed Poppy. Yes. So what I kind of wanted to do was, we've got this generic function for loading the actual data, but in the load all sprites function, what we could do is we could be a bit fancy about it. We could go screen 9, and there's extra stuff we could put on that, but it's fine. We can go back to screen 13 at the end for the moment, that's fine. Once we've loaded the sprite, we could draw it. How do I do that? Screen 9, 0, 0, 0. Put. Alright. So we could put at 0, 0 on the screen the sprite found in gsprite data, and honestly this should be a generic function, but we can figure that out later. Just want to see if it works. Gsprite data 0, index p set. Yeah. Oh yes. File already exists overwrite. I think that's the .bi file. It's probably fine. We've got all this in Git anyway. So back in our game, let's hook into this main menu thing here. And then I guess here, if in string equals s, then load all sprites and then I guess in string equals key string don't have any idea of what my routines are, but here we go, there we go. Go to... But we don't know what load all sprites is yet because we haven't included it in the main program. So we need to go to sprites.bas. We've got this load sprite thing declared. That's great. Where's load? Other one. Okay. Yeah. You'd think QBasic would be clever enough to realize that if you've got a .bi file, you should probably put the automatically generated declarations of subs in there. So sprites.bas has that included. And now game 2 game 2 can do that. And then maybe if we run it. Have a good night. Have a good night, YGY. I think I will be signing off soon anyway. Argument count mismatch. What is going on here? Load sprite, file names, index. Or load all sprites. Oh, do we... Yes. Do we need to do, like, empty parentheses? Array not defined. Okay. Can I do just like shared just right there? No. How do I do that? How do I convince you that this is a oh wait, it should have a percentage sign on it. Not sure if that matters, but it could be it. Also, I was guessing at this variable name, but that's correct. Not defined. Okay, so I do have to do read-in shared, which will be annoying if I have to dynamically allocate that. So there are the old school sprites loaded. Now we type S for sprites. Subscript out of range. Cool, cool. Why? Like, the error messages you get on this thing can be quite obtuse. Subscript out of range. Is it because of index? 0. I mean, it generally prefers 1-based indexes for everything, but I thought we defined this as 0 to 8, so that should be fine. We can test if that's the case by just loading it into slot 1. Subscript out of range. What do you suppose? We could go back to a one-dimensional array and then just like pretend it's two-dimensional by calculating an offset into it. We'll do that. So this become well. Okay, let's redefine what the array looks like first. 0 to 66 times 8. And then load all sprites. Can start from 0, yes. We load sprite that. We will put this into a put sprite. Yeah. Be with you in a little minute, Poppy. We just want to fix up the code, and then it can be dinner time, and we'll end stream there. Okay? Okay, baby? Dinner soon. And then this was actually going to be index times 66. Which will be 0 for example, but that's fine. Wow, you mentioned that, Poppy. You did. Sprite.bearing. Technically speaking, we don't need to put this in here right now, but it's fine. So let's review. Load all sprites will load into index 0 and then put from index 0. The loader times 66. Wait, no. That's not what it looks like. It looks like that now. Because we've got a one-dimensional array. The put sprite also needs to be changed. The include file doesn't. Sprites. Try that. Subscript out of range. I think I'm gonna call it. We're gonna feed the Poppy Cat. We'll end stream there. I can bash my brain against this some other time. I do have to go pick up my mum from the train station at some point later. So yes, we'll do that. Let's go to the PoppyCam screen, and we will go feed the Poppy Cat, and I will save all of this. Yes, James is taking off his headphones. What could this mean? Well, that was odd. She hasn't scarfed down her entire dinner in one go. And she said she was very hungry, but she did at least take her pills, so that's the important thing. She's very good at taking her pills. I will send us off to someone else, and then I need to eat something, and then go to the train station later. So, thank you everyone for being here. It's good to see yous. And, things and stuff. You know, like, I'm still very much obliterated by the 9-to-5 job. And it is difficult to do things on the weekends, never mind stream and do things. But I want to do, like, a little bit here and there when I can, if the weather is permitting and I have the right brain juice, because it's nice to just keep this going. It's a little bit of socialization with the cool retro community on Twitch. And is this going to load at all? Come on. Where would we like to go? I think I'd like to go say hi to Atari Beer Pong. Atari Beer Pong is another cool retro streamer. He's currently playing what looks like an Atari 2600 Pitfall, and yeah, I've run out of brain. I need to send you off into the Twitch-verse. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time. I do not know when that next time will be. Very sorry, but like, schedule just has to be a bit intermittent at the moment. Oh, okay. ABP has got raids turned off. Maybe, yeah, he's been going for 5 hours. Maybe he's thinking of wrapping up soon. Okay, we will find another raid target. If my internet can load a damn stream, and just check on people and see what they're up to, and maybe send yous over there. Come on, load the damn thing. All right. Your mom. Did you know your mom streams? Your mom does a lot of cool retro game streams, and your mom is currently playing Legacy of the Ancients 1987 on DOS by the looks of it. So yeah, let's go say hi to them. Alright. How do I spell your mom? Like, I should know how to spell your mom's name. I raid your mom whenever I can, really. Yes? Fantastic. And Seribot will give you a link after the raid goes out, in case you're on mobile and you get left behind, because the mobile experience for Twitch sucks. I will see you when I see you. Take care, everyone. Look after yourselves. Health is important. I hear Poppy picking away at her dinner again now, so that's good. She's still eating it. Goodbye.